Alrighty then. So, Mr. Patrico, what have you got for me today?
I've got Virtual World for you today.
Virtual World.
And this is a pure Virtual World. This is not Adventure. This is not Pong. Those versions of the deck are obviously strong.
Yeah.
The problem is that your engine is so big, and that you've also got to add these other engines. It means you have no room for things like hand traps.
Yeah.
You really need to be able to. Your deck needs to be able to play a lot of hand traps to be able to like beat the meta, beat the adventure decks.
Yeah.
So the pure version just has like the most room for generic cards.
Yeah.
So I just think it's pretty strong right now.
So, on a budget variant, obviously, like loads of players right now, let's talk like cards like Aluba are currently going for like £90.
Yes, this deck is very budget. Like
Yeah.
none of the virtual cards are that expensive. I think Lulu is like less than 5 each, and the rest of them are nothing.
Yeah.
And nothing in the extract is really that expensive.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Cool, let's go.
Yeah. So starting off, we've got Lulu,
Yeah.
Lalau,
Yeah.
Lily,
Yeah.
Gigi. All of them are 3. You need to just max out all the names because you just want to draw as many of these as possible, basically.
Yeah.
The big problem with this deck is bricking, and whenever you brick, it's because you don't open enough of these. So you've just got to max out all of them. So we play the full 12 names.
Yeah.
And just the more of these you draw, the more you can combo. So we
Nice.
just play max out on basically everything.
Yeah.
At least all the main names, and then obviously you've also got the Yams as well. Before, everyone used to play 2 of this because of Desires. Obviously, Desires is at 1 now, but I still think it's good to play 2.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, you want to have access to 2.
Yeah.
But also, the big thing is you oftentimes need this in deck as an E-Telly target. Because
Okay.
a lot of the time, you actually want to be able to summon a non-tuner off the
Yeah.
E-Telly.
And that's basically a 3/2 sort of ratio, isn't it?
Yeah,
now?
exactly. But like, if you already milled one for all your effects, but you also need one to summon off E-Telly.
Yeah.
Because again, a lot of the time you need a non-tuner in order to like actually get to your secret place.
Yeah,
I think two Yams are really good.
And making plays without using your normal summon,
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly.
Especially Virtual World.
Yes, exactly. And then Love Letter to the format is obviously all the hand traps you have to play. So I play 3 Ash, 3 Ogre, Gamma Package. Gamma Package is like something that's particularly good in Virtual World because a lot of the time they'll use their hand traps and negates while you don't have any monsters. Like you'll
You'll have like Quaalu and then
yeah,
go
you'll have
into
like a
Chuche.
Quaalu into a Chuche. You'll have a lot of the time you'll activate an effect in hand, but like since it's still in the hand, it's not on the field. You can Gamma. And the really important thing is that since Gamma's level 2, you can't summon it after using the Virtual World effects. But if you use an effect, then they chain something, then you chain Gamma. You can still actually do it because it's not resolved yet.
Okay.
And then obviously they just give you 3 bodies. This being a level 6 is obviously really strong.
Nice.
This package was very strong last format. It's not as strong with Despia in the format, so like I might possibly remove these and play Ghost Bells instead, which are really strong against Despia.
Yeah.
And then Ash and Ogre are obviously really good. Ash is just like generically good against everything, especially Branded Fusion. You need Ash for Branded Fusion right now. And Ogre you need it because it's just you need it. It's the one hand trap that can always stop the Adventure Engine.
It's good against Souls as well, because
Yes.
like they go say Moye effect or something like that.
Yes,
then you
exactly.
just Pop the Moye.
But it's the only hand trap that can always stop the Adventure cards, because Ash only stops them if they start with Acromancer. If they just activate right, it doesn't work. So Ogre always stops them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the spells, obviously you play 3 Kowloon, 3 Kingong. Obviously Kowloon's really important because it's just a starter card, gets you to Chuche or can get you to Kingong. The Kingong's really important, obviously it's your search card, but the on-field effect is really important for breaking boards because it can just negate sort of whatever boss monster.
Negates like Phoenix Enforcer and
Yeah,
stuff,
exactly,
isn't
and
it?
like if you Kowloon into it, you're always going to have something to banish, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And this is especially really good against DPE, because if you use this on their DPE, they're like in a tough position where either they have to like let it resolve and their DPE gets negated, or they have to DPE pop this, which gives you a free search.
Yeah.
So it's really good into DPE, which can sometimes be an issue for this deck. You can also just like negate like you can like force out like a Griffin or like even like a Mirror Jade. It's just like very good into any sort of board basically. Then you play E-Telly. This being at 3 is really strong. It's just such a powerful extender. It just gives you a free body.
Yeah.
Can get you a tuner or a non-tuner. And there's you can even like summon Gamma, which is like you have to do it before you actually commit to your plays because you're locked out. But summoning Gamma can actually be really strong because you can summon Gamma and then make a level 6 Synchro and actually hard make Crystal Ball. And there's also just like this being a quick play allows a lot of cool things. Like you can summon guys in the battle phase. Like against Flow Under Ease, you can go to the battle phase, and they'll probably just be a bit confused. Then you activate this special Lulu because it's a wind, and then it can attack over the Barrier Statue.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and the other cool thing is that there's this. It doesn't come up much, but there's this play where if you have Zanwu, and this is the only card in your hand, you activate Zanwu, you chain this, you special summon, and then Zanwu gets a summon, but you don't have to discard because you have nothing in your hand.
Nice.
So this is Yeah, 3 E-Telly is just really strong, really good that came back to 3. Then the one-off Desires and Called By, broken one-offs. Desires, obviously, even at 1, it's just drawing 2 super powerful.
Yeah.
And then Called By Grave is just so good against everything in the format. It negates DP, it negates Bower Bark, it stops the Brandon in red if you just Called By whatever they're targeting.
It basically makes decks behave.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously it stops hand drops.
Yeah.
And then for the traps, you play 2 Chuche, 1 Zanwu.
Nice.
So you just have to play three traps of the correct amount. Like Zanwu's a bit of a break great, but it helps you push through stuff. It helps your combo better, and you just need like 3 traps to actually like play the game.
Yeah.
You need to have like trap cards in deck in order to like resolve your like virtual world effects.
Yeah.
So this ratio is just sort of the standard. And then the last cards I play are 2 Imperm, 2 more hand traps. This in total is, I believe it's 11 hand traps, which gives you a very good chance to open multiples.
Yeah.
Which is really strong. And Imperm's just generally good. A lot of people aren't playing the Comedy and the Deathspear deck, which means if you can negate the Rebellion, then you can like a lot of
Comedy's the was that the Branded Paradise before it got renamed? Or?
No, that's the it's one where like I can't remember the exact effect, but like if it's engraved, you can tribute a monster to summon. So the idea is you chain it, you tribute the Rebellion, and then it stops it can stop like it can like dodge like Imperm or Vader.
Yeah,
Not a lot of people are playing that, and even if they do, they have to like actually like use a search on it.
Yeah.
And then I think Imperm's a lot better than Veiler because like you can draw off your 6th card, you can like use it outside the main phase, and this being a spell trap is really important because you need to have spell traps that you can actually set in order to trigger Crystal, in order to trigger a Zolkin. Because like a lot of the time it's like awkward if you have a Zolkin play but you don't actually have any spell trap to set.
Yeah.
So having Imperm is really good.
Yeah.
So that's it for the main deck, 40 cards. Moving on to the extra.
Yeah.
So I play one of each of the level 6 synchros.
Yeah.
Juju, Charge Warrior, and Corn Dragon. These are all really good. These both give you free draws.
Yeah.
This one you synchro off, this one you just summon it, you get free draws. And you can just summon whichever one you want because sometimes you want a non-tuner, sometimes you want a tuner, so they're both good. And also this being able to put back row is really good. Yeah. And this can like attack like a bunch of monsters, which is sometimes
You can carry on plays, can't you? If you go Core Dragon, say during your opponent's turn 2. And obviously it being a tuner as well.
Yeah, you can like discard, pop a card, then synchro this into like a Shen Shen, and then you get to draw a card.
Jeez.
And then Juju's really strong. It's just a removal card. It can remove any card like monster or back row.
Yeah.
And it sends it to the grave. It doesn't destroy, which is really relevant.
It sends?
Yes. So it gets around like stuff like DP.
Wow.
And it also has protection as well. If you have 2 in the grave with the same type and attribute, then it can't be destroyed with battle or card effects. So they can't DP it, which is really relevant. And they can't pop with Guardian Chimera either.
Broken.
And then the other cool thing is this says 2 with the same type and attribute. So obviously like you're supposed to use it with the virtual ones. But the cool thing is you've got where is it? You've got like Gamma, which is like a light psychic, and then Ghost Ogre is also a light psychic. So you can like. If you have
you can use these as well. So if you have both in the graveyard or just like something.
So I mean, if you use this, you'll get banished. But a lot of the time, if you draw this, you'll like discard it off your King Long or something. So if you have like both of these in the grave, then like you just have the protection for free, basically.
That's broken.
Yeah. So those are level 6 synchros.
Yeah.
Level 9, you got Shen Shen, the boss monster, obviously.
Yeah. Most biggest pain in the arse possible.
You want to make his turn 1, especially with so much Prankids. This is so good versus Prankids because they have to go to the grave to float.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a lot of the time you make this, they literally set a Prankid from.
Yeah, I mean, I know from facts of playing Prankids myself. It's like the moment I see Shen Shen, it's instant scoop.
And even though you have the adventure cards, if you have Chuche, that just like deals with that.
Yeah.
And obviously it just like recurs itself. And then Vermilion, which
and it's
all
cards, isn't it, in general? So even if it's like Draco back, if Draco back goes to grave,
it gets banished. And any Eldritch spell trap gets banished.
Oh, of course.
And also, like you actually cannot activate more than the break when this is on the field because it has to like be able to send across.
Yeah, that's broken.
Yeah, Vermilion is just removal, but it can also like help you combo because it can pop itself and then add back the same card you banish. So there are a lot of combos where you can like banish a Lao Lao, pop it, and then add back the Lao Lao. Like that's how
you can. Yeah.
That's how you combo if you have a Lulu and a King Long, which like normally wouldn't do anything, but lets you play with that. So
yeah, I've got a virtual world deck myself, and it's just like feels like to me that I'm learning way too much.
Yeah, there are a lot of lines in this deck. It's just very sort of non-linear. It's not the same play.
No.
And then obviously the really powerful package, Crystal Wing.
Yeah.
Crystal Wing's just really important to have it. Protects you from hand traps.
Yeah.
You can like usually make this by the 5th summon to stop Nibiru.
Yeah.
And it just like it's just an extra disruption.
Nice.
And also the fact that it gains attack is really relevant. It can just attack over everything.
Yeah.
Also, this has the effect where if you have Crystal Wing, they can't attack it, which is actually relevant because a lot of the time they'll just make like they'll just like try to attack you randomly so they can make a Zeus, and this just like means they can't do that.
Yeah, and if they got a Crystal Wing and they declare an attack on the Crystal Wing, then there's going to be a problem.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be a big problem. And then for the XYZs, Fan is really important for it's like the main card I go into whenever I'm trying to break the board. Because, being able to banish from field or grave is like really good, but on top of that, it like threats the field, it threatens the grave, it also threatens Zeus for being an XYZ, and even if they outweigh it, you still get it still summons 2 guys from deck. So no matter what, if you summon this, like you're still like getting to like it just forces so much summonings by itself. And it's really good versus DP because you either just banish a DP out of the grave, or a lot of the time what you can do is if you a lot of the time you have either King Long or Imperm, they'll actually just let the DP get negated, so they have a negated DP on field. You can use this to banish a DP from field, and then also banish the Dasher from the grave to constantly tie it in.
Basically dead.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Then
Because if they draw a monster, even if Dasher and no other things, they can still get the summon. But
Yes,
obviously
exactly.
Dasher being the most important one,
and then,
Celestial's going to be.
and then the other
great.
6s you player you Champion Beyond. This is just good for like outing like big stuff.
Yeah.
Like it just makes them 0. Canal Dragoon, but not a lot of people are playing that, but some people play in the Despia deck.
Yeah.
And also this just being a 3k attacker is like really good for dungeon games.
Yeah.
Beatrice, this can like send you can send like King Long or Zanwu, but I mainly play this for like some tech in my side deck.
Yeah.
And then M7 is like really important. It's like it out stuff, but like it out stuff. It like lets you continue comboing. It can be like a disruption because it can add back a hand trap. It can bounce a DP.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it can bounce a DP from their grave to stop it from coming back.
So say like I'm playing against Flunderies or something like that. Say turn 1 you draw Lockbird.
Yeah.
And then
Yes,
like,
you can
turn
add back
2,
control.
You can just add back to. That's
Yeah.
busted.
But no, it stops DP, and also it can stop Mirror Jade by putting it back in the extra deck, so it won't nuke you in the
Yeah, it
extra
can't
deck as
nuke you because obviously the rulings.
well. Yeah, exactly. So those are the 6s. The only 3 you play is Breaksword. I think it's the only one that's good enough. It's just
Yeah.
like it's just free removal. And then you play Down Nerd and Gaia Charger, and
Yeah.
both of these are to help you make Zeus.
Yeah.
And Zeus is just like the most powerful cards where you always want to go for. And like you can use these to make it with 4 materials, which is
Yeah.
really important, so you can wipe their board and then also stop the follow-up play.
It's interesting fact as well with Shen Shen as well is even if you send the Shen Shen to the graveyard, Shen Shen can just res itself back.
Yes,
can't it?
exactly. And you can a lot of the time you can hold like a Kowloon, for example, so you can end on like Zeus with 2 materials and also a Chuche as
Yeah,
well.
that's pretty good.
So that's it for the extra deck.
yeah.
Moving on to the side,
Yeah.
we have 3 draw. This is just for a lot of the combo decks. Like it's not really for Despia or Pranked. It's like good versus like base and the other combo decks.
Flunderies.
Yeah, and it's also really good against Flunderies as well.
Yeah, Adventure just loses to the card straight away, doesn't it?
And then we also just play 1 collector. This is a card you can send off Beatrice.
Yeah.
So against against a lot of the Brave decks and also Sword Soul, you can just send this off
You can
Beatrice.
set it up
yeah,
for
exactly.
next turn basically, so it's pretty much just going to be sitting there, and if your
Yeah,
opponent
exactly.
decides to make a token play, then
Yeah, and
they're
also
gonna have
since Beatrice is a quick effect, you can do it on both players' turns. So you can send this and then also send like a King Long for a follow-up as well.
Oh wow, that's really good.
Yeah. Then 3 Dark Ruler just for any combo decks. This is also really good versus Sword Soul actually, because a lot of the time they'll end on like a big board of like
Baron.
yeah, like it would be like Baron, Shi Zhao, and then like the new Synchro as well. So and it's just like
The zombie one.
yeah. No, they're like level 10. I forget what it's called, but it's like the level 10 Sword Soul guy that like banishes stuff.
Oh, that one. Chen Ying.
Yeah, no,
No, not Chen Ying.
yeah, it's the new one that was in Battle Chaos. But
okay.
it just negates that, which is really good.
Nice.
Then I play back row hate, and another back row hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need to be able to stop back row decks. I play Twin because like the discard's good, and being a quick play that can take out multiple cards is really important. So
What's-
like against a Pranked, you can snipe the Pandemonium.
Yeah, you can force it as well because if they've got the prank kids Pandemonium, even if you hard draw the Twin Twisters turn 2, you instantly have to bait it. You can instantly bait the Twin Twist, bait the Pandemonium with the Twin
Yeah, exactly.
Twisters.
And then it can take out like a Brandon in red, and against the good thing about Twin Twist instead of Cosmic Cyclone is against Flunderies you can take out both. You can take out both the Dreaming Town and the Field Spell at the same time.
Yeah, Dreaming Town is a pain in the ass to deal with. I hate that card.
And then and it's main phase too, so if you're doing standby,
Yeah.
that's fine. And then obviously Featherduster Reboot broken.
Yeah.
And then the last side card, which I don't have on me, is just supposed to be 3D Barrier.
Yeah.
It's just so good versus Despia, which everyone's playing. It's just the best
Yeah,
card
it's
to
broken.
start going for. So yeah, having D Barrier, Cool Fusion's really important.
Sweet as a mango, man.
Yep, and that's it.
Thanks a lot, Patrick, for that. Price value on that deck is practically nothing, isn't
Not
it?
much. Zeus is like 15.
That's like the most expensive
Some of the
card.
hand traps, like obviously Asbosom's like kind of expensive,
Yeah.
like 20 each, I think.
Yeah. But it's just the core in general.
Yes.
It's
But
just
the
like
core is very cheap. Like Lulu's are like 5 each, and I don't think anything else is expensive.
that's
The
sick.
extra cards, like I think, like Crystal Wing is like 5 each.
Yeah.
But like overall, you could like
Get this deck for like less than 50 quid.
Yeah,
can't you?
probably.
That's
Yeah.
dirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, man, any shout outs?
yeah. Shout out to D20, our locals, obviously, and shout out to Exiles.
Nice.
Obviously, best team. in the game.
Yeah, of course, man. Anyway, thanks a lot, Patrick.
Thank you.
Anyway, it's been Alex, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.